Hello. Hello. Welcome to a live, a YouTube channel for those of you who didn't catch the live, a YouTube video for those of you who didn't catch the live. Today, so I'm setting up the Instagram thing as well. I've gotten a new VPN update, so I'll have much less problems on YouTube. I'll be on Instagram. I'll be much more active on Instagram because I have a update. So, good news. Join the Discord. That's my first thing. That's my little plug for the beginning of this video. Join the Discord. There's a Discord. It's cool. It's fun. It's small. A lot of inside jokes. A lot of good stuff. Yeah. So today, like the description says, or the YouTube description says, we're going to be tasting the yellow tea. This is very exciting. I did a really fun, not on purpose, but totally fun, yellow tea where I just used way too much leaf and I overbrewed it. I was like, because I was taking photos for the website and then I had already poured the tea, so I was like, fuck it, let me just drink it. And it was just awesomely amazing. It was great because with an over steep and over leaves, all the textures and all the characteristics that make it yellow tea got put on blast. And so, yo, yellow tea, let's go. You already know. And it was a really cool thing because I think it's for anyone who gets the yellow tea, I highly suggest making it strong either by increasing the leaf amount or decreasing the water is another good way, the buck style, because it's just really going to make it clear what is yellow tea, what yellow tea should be. Oh my God, no, don't tell me my Instagram lost. You've got to be fucking kidding me. I just updated you. This is ridiculous. Come on. Yeah, and this is, and that's the kind of the nice thing about going about, that's the what do you call it? The making lemons out of lemonade. Sorry, making lemonade out of lemons about my VPN kind of crapping out. It's forced me to turn to YouTube, which is a nice area that I haven't kind of ignored. So hopefully that works. Nope. VPN cut out again. No, it didn't. It just sucks. So I got my water boiling. So it turns out, unrelated, but I was talking to my boss. This is my English training school boss. And it turns out he's like a certified tea taster, where he took the class where you have to taste the tea, and then you have to say how much you think it is, how much it costs, and you have to say what's wrong in the making. And that was super surprising. And then we tasted a tea, and it might actually be in the next sampler box. And for this sampler box, I gotta preference it because the tea cost the tea cost 100 kwai. I'm going to keep trying for the yes, you didn't even get that call. The tea cost 100 kwai, which is super cheap. But for the price, it was clearly a flawed tea, but for the price, it was very good quality. All right, YouTube is in. I did the stupid thing again. I should have. Sorry, Instagram is in. You should pass the water back and forth, then add the leaves, and then use the hot pitcher to smell the aroma. But yeah, it smells nice. As my water boils, I'll get you. So you're gonna give me the eyes again. just hope that's just gonna give me the eyes. Yeah, and there's definitely times. I thought my dog was gonna give me. I'm gonna get dog eyes. Um, yeah, no, definitely there are times I'm more lazier than others, but I think in a tea like this, yep, Instagram died again. Screw it. Screw it. Just screw it. Screw that. I'm still kind of exploring this tea. I'm still seeing what this tea is about. Still getting into it. So I think right now I'm doing a lot of things to really appreciate it, really get to know it. Especially since I'm sitting in our live and I'm not walking around and doing other things. If I was walking around and doing other things, then yeah, I'd get too lazy. But shit's not connected. That's probably going to pour everywhere. No, okay. But I do want to do it. It's like, so it's corn water, which is a very, very like corn, sweet corn, which is a very, very common note for yellow tea. This is the yellow tea on the site. But then this is like this. There's an aroma that almost reminds me of moss, but like not in a weird, funky way. But like imagine like moss in nature, in a very natural green, but like a soft, rich green. Nutty. Yeah, that's it. Like it's not like a funky moss. It's like a peat moss. It's like a nice moss. So glad you understand that. I was so afraid of sounding crazy. Like bog, yeah, like a natural, just even enjoyable. Gotta plug up the hole so the water doesn't drip. Not gonna do much. There definitely there's definitely something like Huangshan Malfungi about this, or like no, Johnny, no. Johnny's like nestling into my arm. It's gonna make the pouring harder than it already is. Not bad. Not a bad pour. What are you scratching? Are you scratching at your ear? What's your? All right, here we go. First steep. Hot, very hot. It's so interesting because this yellow tea to me is it's by no means perfect. It is definitely a more there's definitely some flaws to it. Um, and apparently last year, my friend told me that one of the source of the flaws last year was when they were piling during the baking. So it's baked on this basket, and when they piled it too high, and the heat got trapped. Like the heat wasn't able to disperse enough. This is the level that my friend's at, by the way. My friend's an OG. Um, and it's interesting though because this flaw is it's a flaw, but it's almost like kind of like a nice flaw where like the tea is not too perfect. You know, it's a little bit like it's just it's the flaw is it just lacks a little bit of refreshingness. It just lacks. Well, not even say it's weird because it's. I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like what it makes me think of. It makes me think of a whiskey that like is like a small batch whiskey that is good and you because it has all these great flavor notes and it has the body and it has the aroma, it has all this good stuff. Um, but there's just something. So it's like imagine a small batch whiskey compared to like Johnny Walker. This is, I guess, yeah, I can see that a little bit on the tongue. Yeah, for this one. Well, I think what you're describing, I describe as the fermentation taste, that fermentation feel. Um, the mouth feel to this is very very similar to like a white tea, like a silver needle, and it's that like fuzzy, warm, like not sauerkraut, but like it's like yeah, it's like a warm, fuzzy, tingly, like on the tongue, almost hairy. This is very, very similar, I think. This reminds me a lot, actually, of a silver needle. And so yeah, so going back to this like this analogy of small batch whiskey versus Johnny Walker. You know, Johnny Walker is a smooth, clean whiskey, very nice. But kind of like boom, whiskey, Johnny Walker, solid. The small batch is going to be like a little rough around the edges, and that's actually a good way to describe this. This tea is like just a little rough around the edges, where it hasn't really been smoothed out, like maybe a more mass produced tea will be. Um, but with this kind of roughness comes these flavor notes and characteristics and all these things. Um, it's really, really, it's really just a great tea to drink, honestly. And it feels like a tea, and that's a really weird way to put it, but it just feels like a tea. It feels it's a weird way to put it, but somehow it fits and I like it. But you can taste it feels like a crafted tea. And I think for that reason, I think for the reason that it's not perfect, um, but it's super unique. God, man, I really appreciate yellow teas now. Because now I'm thinking about this when I'm thinking about the other yellow teas I've had. And yeah, it's really good. Really, really good. Would love to get more into yellow teas. So I'll give you a slight, not a pro tip, but something I do when I'm doing double gong dao bei brewing is instead of pouring the water directly into the gong dao bei with the leaves, I'll first pour it into the empty gong dao bei, give a little swirl, and then pour it in. Oh man, it's too hot. And what this does is it first cleans out this gong dao bei of anything lingering, but it also just lets the water cool that extra little bit. But any little loose leaves that got in there are gone. Fuck it, YOLO. Exactly. I've been in this gong dao bei game a long time. And you see, and that's an analogy I use for actually quite a bit of teas. Um, and this is really like my problem with like Tia Kuan Yin. Tia Kuan Yin, like almost everything's Johnny Walker. Where it's smooth and it's nice and it's evened out, but you don't get those ups and lows. You don't get those characteristics. Man, it's just it's nice. It's hmm. Right, it just takes the fun out of it. It just like you just like especially when you've had it like a few times and you're like, oh, this is just the same thing as the other guy. Mm, it's nice in my tummy. Yeah, I know you got stuff. You got ear stuff. Yeah, and I tried to go this year. I tried to get over to Luan, Luan. So Horshan is actually in the same mountain range as Bianfudong, which is Guapian. Guapian and Horshan Huangya actually come from the same mountain range. So if I was able to get in, if I'm able to ever move to Luan, it'd be kind of hitting two birds with one stone. But then I'll have to go back to northern Anhui. Yeah, yeah, no, I tried, and I can try again in the future. But yeah, I think because Luan Guapian is another one that needs to get hit harder. Needs to. This year's teas are definitely lighter, and they're lighter kind of across the board. Um, uh, Lighter area, not area, but little flavor notes are lighter. Um, the body's still there, which is nice. I might give it still. I think Hogu might still be my favorite. I actually haven't drank Hogu that much. Everything going on, should revisit it. Hogu might still be my favorite. I think Hogu just like Hogu that like that chestnutty kind of. I think it comes. I think it's technically like a smoke note, but it comes off. It's from this. It's from the wood firing, I think, or the wood fire baking. Um, but it comes off in this like nutty chestnutty note, and it's really really nice. Um, Malfungs are lighter cost. Even this is lighter, and this is actually. I feel like this was stronger last year. I gotta check with One River Tea. Yeah, for those who don't know, actually, good segue here. So One River Tea is also selling this tea this year. Um, but it happened to work out nicely where they sell this tea as part of a sampler pack, and I sell it by itself. Um, so if you want to get this tea only a little bit or try it next to some other teas, you go to One River Tea. Um, but yeah, if you want just straight up this year, yeah, and I think it's nice. And we talked about it, and we didn't even plan that; just happened to work out that way. I think I would suggest for the people who are new to yellow tea, I would suggest One River Tea. Definitely, if you like the yellow tea, then One River Tea. Um, but if wow, I just got really lazy. I just put everything out. Like, screw the last tea. Um, But yeah, if you like this tea and you know you're gonna drink it, definitely come to me. It's of all the talk of gatekeeping this year, it was very nice just to have us very quickly just be like, oh yeah, you do this, I do that, done. We can both sell the tea. Yeah, I wonder what it would take for me to. Oh, I like them both a lot. I like them both a lot. I was actually just talking to Derek earlier tonight about other stuff. Um, it's very possible in the future that I move to Ensure and kind of hang out with Alex more. Um, Alex is a really cool guy. Derek is a little more on the social media. Alex is kind of a little more. He's in the Ensure and he's kind of hitting that. He's a little bit more in the field and doing really cool stuff with cooperatives. But both are good guys. Both are really good guys. I've met Alex before. I went down to Ensure for like a day. I spent some time with him. Haven't met, I've talked to Derek a lot, but I haven't actually met Derek yet. Not in person. Not yet. One day. It's been on my to do list. What I can do tonight is I need to buy a memory card in my travels. I've lost in my constant moving from one apartment to another. I've lost a few things. One of them is a memory card. Um, yeah, getting into the Buck style. Um, it's definitely yeah. So I gotta just go online and get a new memory card, which is easy to do. Though I gotta make sure also my camera's not broken. There's a small chance my camera might be broken. And another thing that happened in all the moving. But then I can always just do it on my phone, I guess, on the computer. Yeah, I'll get to it. Maybe this week. I've gotten out almost all of the paid orders. Um, oof, yeah, no bueno, no bueno. Um, but now, so once the paid orders get out, I gotta send out. There's a couple of people who I said I'd send them tea, just shits and giggles, tea log, Gold Mountain tea. Um, so that's kind of my priority. Still, I had to order new bags. So yeah, once those go out, I can focus on making videos. Also, the website's not finished. I got like a lot of teas that don't have photos. Oops. This was a T-Log or Go who was selling T-Log one. Oh my God, Gold Mountain tea. T-Log. I met T-Log. He he came down to Huangshan when I was living in Huangshan right before the pandemic. He came down and we linked up and just had tea together. He's a really good guy too. I like him a lot. Sorry. T-Log's a good guy. I miss that. That's what I miss. Like tea season, like living in China during tea season is so much fun because you just get all these companies from around the world coming, and like I met up with T-Log and then Conrad, and then one time I just randomly bumped into Don from Mayleaf. Like everyone's just coming through, and yeah, and then fucking COVID happened. it's been it's super weird. Yeah. I mean, I've met up with Conrad at least 2 times. I think 3 times by now. That was one of he was a regular. Every time he came down, we'd meet up in Wuishan. Actually, I came a lot. Yeah, like it's been weird. It's been okay. It's been super weird. Selling tea online is super weird. Um, because it's just that compared to selling it in a shop, like I worked in Tea Drunk for 2 years, and then to switch to selling it online and not have that interaction during the sale, it's a super weird transition. Nice. So it's really nice right now. The body is just simple. The flavors are kind of mellowed out, but it's just coming together really nicely. Pea notes, vegetal moss, bog. Wonderful. And that's nice and pretty. I don't know if that's not really going to focus on that. I would say that yeah, no, the broth. The broth is a key thing. Definitely the broth. That is a characteristic of yellow tea. I would say compared to last year, it's a little lighter. It's a little more like fresher. It doesn't. I feel like last year was a little stronger, if I'm remembering correctly. A little more edge, a little more, and I mean the same. And this is the thing about this year compared to last year. All the flavors are there. It's like the same flavor profile as last year, but everything's just kind of fresher, like a little less strength, a little fresher, a little more aromatic. Um, no, I know exactly what you're talking about, and that is a yellow tea characteristic. And that's one of the things, one of the reasons I'm drinking this right now is I'm trying to like, and I'm gonna have to keep working on this, but trying to figure out how to describe the difference between yellow tea and green tea. And that brothiness is definitely a major part of it. Oh, it is good. This is good. I enjoy it. All right, it's good. It's good. I gotta pack some up tonight. Send them up tomorrow. I'm still waiting for these tracking. We're getting toward the point where I'm gonna stop bothering her for tracking numbers. This is getting a little ridiculous. Even by now she usually sends them. Um, it's getting a little ridiculous. But that's good. Yeah, brothy because it feels brothy too. Yeah, yeah. I look forward to people drinking this. You know, thank you for asking. First of all, I'm the landlord hasn't said anything since then. Like he knocked on my door once, and we kind of talked about it. And he was like, "Your dogs bark a lot," and I was like, "My dogs really don't bark that much." And he goes, "The people upstairs have a dog." I'm like, "Yeah, that one barks a lot." And he seems like he's fine, but like he has to deal with his other tenant complaining. But I haven't gotten any messages about it in over a week. Um, so I don't think there's really any rush for me to get out. But at the same time, I really don't like living in an apartment. I really don't like. I like living in the countryside, and I like being able to. Basically, what I like is I like being able to just take my dogs out, walk maybe 5 minutes, and then let them off leash. Yeah, and I don't like. I do like the convenience and the well-built apartment, but I don't know if I really want to start looking for a village yet because I don't really know. I would still very much like to move to Wuishan in August. That is still my goal. Um, and my job right now is just I'm teaching like 2 classes a week, which is nothing. I'm kind of thinking about this, and there's 2 ways to go about it, and it's if I can get. I sent a message to Wuishan University, and I was like, "Look, can I talk? Can we talk about next fall?" And they were like, "Are you in China?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm in Jianyang, I'm right nearby." And they didn't respond after that. If they can confirm it early, because right now there's still a chance I can leave my current job because I don't have a work visa yet. The second I get my work visa, then they have to let me go. But if I can leave soon, yeah, it's hopefully if Wuishan says yes, hopefully my job will just let me go because like I'm honestly costing them more than they're making. I'm teaching 3 hours a week, and I'm not getting any more. Yeah, it's going to be a conversation with my boss, but we'll see. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, talking directly sometimes gets lost in translation and or culture. Like I know I can't really directly talk to my boss because he gets yeah. Yeah. I'd say 50-50. There's like a 50% chance I'll be able to get out. But I really need Wu Yishan to. And because the other thing is that like I talked to Wu Yishan University before, and before like I bothered them a lot, and I was like, hey, like, and they did this. I was like, hey, like, do you need a teacher? And they were like, oh, let me talk to the head of foreign staff. And I was like, hey, like, did you talk to the head of foreign staff? And they're like, yeah, we're waiting for a reply. And can you send your resume? And then I sent the resume, and it's none. I've been through this before with them. They don't. It seems like they don't say no. They just don't say yes. So we'll see. We'll see. 50-50 on that. 50-50. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here actually because I got to do dog stuff and I got some reading to do. I'm trying to finish a book this week, 1 book 1 week, but I got to keep a good pace, about 100 pages a day. Well, what's the funny part about it? The Rogue Waymaker, the guy who's going to do the Water Curtain Cave, he's Mr. Wu. He is Wu. And like I don't know if you knew that when we made this joke, but like he is Mr. Wu. That's his name. And it's that same Wu. It's the same Wu. Yeah. Yeah, no, no. That's literally, it's amazing. The Wu is legit. And in my head, I'm kind of like passing this around. I'm kind of kicking around like, how can we turn this into something? How can we like, there's stuff to be here. Oh man, I gotta get a video. I gotta get a picture of just him doing this, like him throwing up the Wu-Tang plan. Wu-Tang. All right, I gotta go. I gotta feed dogs because they didn't want to eat their breakfast, so they haven't eaten all day. Them bones. Yeah, no. I so much is. Oh, there's so much to do. So much possibilities. All right, everyone. I'm gonna feed the dogs and I'll catch y'all in the Discord. Yep. Always. Thanks for stopping by. Wuchak. Wuchak man forever. I wish I had a time looking time. Damn it.